Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing.
2 seconds to go. You can go ahead and turn them on.
It makes me think that that is 24 units.
But I wonder where they got that 72. Because you obviously does.
Okay. We're going for 23 minutes. I'll call the meeting to order, and I'll ask former Mayor Pro Tem Thomas Gillespie to come up and lead us in invocation. If everyone please stand.
Let us pray. Our Father and our God, we thank Thee for this day. We thank You for Your Son Jesus, who died on Calvary's cross that we might have a right to the tree of life. Now, Father God, we ask Your presence in these city council chambers. God, we ask that You bless our mayor, our city councilman. We ask You to bless our city clerk, our city attorney, our city manager, and Lord, bless all of the people who work to make Lowell the great town that it is. God, as we close this prayer, teach us that as long as America is good, it will remain great. Teach us, O God, to do justice, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our fellow man. And God, we thank You because You have taught us to do unto others as we would have them do unto them. We thank You, Lord. This is our humble prayer. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'd like to officially welcome everyone here tonight, and thanks to all of you for coming out. Appreciate it. So the first item on the agenda tonight is going to be public comments. Anyone would like to speak, just come up and state your name and address. You're welcome to speak. Okay? If anyone has any comments, whatever. All right. Thank you. There being none, we'll go on to the adoption of the agenda for this meeting.
Make a motion, we adopt the agenda as written.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay. The next thing is going to be the approval of a regular city council meeting minutes. What's wrong? Okay, we need to approve the regular city council meeting minutes of August 12, 2025.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes from council meeting of August 12, 2025.
Thank you. Have a second? Second. All in favor? Thank you. Special presentation. What is that, Tyler?
No.
We don't have, we have.
Shane.
Shane, what you gonna do, Shane? I'm kidding.
Oh, he seconded.
All right. Consent agenda, we need a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Make a motion, we adopt the consent agenda.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. It's unanimous, there's only 3. Okay, the next thing on the agenda is going to be the set the public hearing for Article 8 text amendment.
Just real quick before we do that, would like to introduce Jennifer Dumont. She is our new stormwater administrator. She comes to us from Mount Holly, where she did stormwater for 3 years over there. But I am going to let her introduce herself to this board and to the city. Go ahead.
I'm Jennifer Dumont. Like Tyler said, I came from Mount Holly, worked with stormwater for 3 years there. And then before that, I was with Gaston County Schools. So I'm working on a master's degree in emergency disaster management through Western Carolina. So here to help get this permit straightened out and see what stormwater issues Lowell has.
Thank you, and welcome to Lowell. Let's give her a hand, everyone. She used to live in Lowell, so she's coming back. That's good. All right.
Yes, so moving on to 6A, set public hearing for Article 8 text amendment. So Over the past month or so, it was brought to our attention that we would need to look at Article 8, which is the districts, zoning districts for Lowell. And in that time frame, we looked at some changes to the setbacks, to the minimum lot sizes in the RMST, which is the residential Main Street transition. And in your packet, you'll have a overall summary of kind of what we have decided and recommendations that we needed to do. The strikeout, we have done the strikeouts, and highlighted in italics and bold are the additions to this proposal. And if the changes that have been made, if those are something that you want to move forward for, we would like to set the public hearing for October 14th, 2025 at 6 o'clock.
The zoning board's already looked at it,
Yes,
and they're
they are in favor of this.
What's the council's pleasure?
For me, I mean, I've kind of looked at a lot of different things for the zoning. I definitely think we need to do something with the RMST. What I think, or what I'm trying to prevent is, like the homes that went in on Grove Street, you know, I just think that's too many homes for such a small area. I think the minimum standard, you know, is 5,000 right now, not only for the RMST, but for the Main Street district as well. If you look at it, we don't really have a set minimum for the Main Street. I know it's not as part of this, but that's something that I would, you know, I think we need to go back and look at. I think we need to go back and look at all of our districts as a whole. Now, if you look at, you know, our SFR 4, which is, I think we have something on it in here tonight.
We do.
What are lot sizes for SF4, what are they?
The lot sizes currently are 7,800. We're proposing to move it to 8,725.
So it'd be like 87.25 times 100, right? On the lot size.
I mean, I don't know what the other members think, but I think, you know, if you're looking at it, we say it's 4 units per acre, but yet we have it set at 7,800. You know, that's about a .179 lot size, but we say it's 4 units, which should be a quarter acre minimum lot size. I mean, I almost think that should be about 10.8, which would give you that SFR 4. It's kind of hard to read some of our articles. Some spots, it'll tell you the minimum is 4 units. But yet, if you look at the square feet wise, it would actually be about 5.5 units per acre.
If you're allowed to build a 50 by 100, is that, or is the whole lot size?
I'm looking at what we
On
currently
like on
have.
Grove Street, what was that lot size, Tyler?
I think those are roughly .15.
Talking about the whole, there's one house, one lot, and they turn it into 4 properties, right?
That's right. So I think right now the lot size, they're about 1.5, 1.4.
That's what they had to build the 4 houses on?
Because the lot, the current, under the current standards, the lot sizes for that district are,
Actually, if it's
5,000
would be about .111. I mean, that's less than an eighth of an acre.
Yeah. But so, under the current zoning right now for that zoning district, it's 5,000 with a 12-foot setback.
12 off the front?
Yes, so we're proposing now to change that to 8,000 with a 20-foot setback.
If you're parking your car out in the road, if you got a limousine, you'd be out in the middle of the highway.
8,000 to put it at .18, or like 183, I think, as far as acre wise.
Mhm.
So what has to happen, we have to set a public hearing to change everything, right?
Yeah, so if agreed,
If you agree on what you got before
propose,
us,
if you agree for the proposal now, we need to set the public hearing for October 14th at 6 o'clock.
what are you saying, Shane, they need to be smaller
Well,
lots, not larger lots?
not only that, one thing we didn't look at in here is if you look at the single-family attached townhomes. I mean, those lot sizes are 1,600 square feet. So if you wanted to pack in some townhomes, you could
Put a lot of
really
them.
pack in some townhomes. Now, if you go to online, our article, as far as the standards for that, I think there is a density of, I want to say about 14 and a half maximum.
You have to have places to park as well, right? All that has to be encompassed in what you're doing. You need to have so many parking spaces for each
That's right.
townhome or each house, whatever.
That's right.
So
And
so
open
instead of
space.
setting a public hearing for this, we need to
Ah.
revisit.
I think, my personal opinion is I think we need to go ahead with this, just to get this kind of in the works, but then we also need to direct back to the zoning board to look at the 1,600 square feet, maybe even some of the SFR2s, SFR3s. I mean, I know it's kind of a lot encompassed in that, and I think it's gonna take some time to do that, but in the meantime, I think we definitely need to move forward with some of the corrections here. Just, I mean, if you look, there's a couple different, hey, there's not a lot of land, but there's a couple of empty lots that, if you've got a 4.5 acre lot that's MS, then basically, if that's 14 and a half units per lot, that's 20, or 14 and a half times 4.5.
About 60.
Same if, the lot beside the library, empty lots, 2.5 acres, or 2.1 acres. I mean, if they wanted to come in and put in either a bunch of houses close together like they did on Grove Street, they could do the same. Maybe even more so with that beside the library, because that's not RMST, that's the MS districts, which there is no minimum requirement. According to our articles, there is no minimum.
Even with the new
I just think
ordinance.
we can't continue to put,
That's right.
just pack all these homes and,
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
I mean, we just gotta, I think the easiest changes to start with is maybe even looking at some of our minimum lot size requirements. One thing I asked Tyler before the meeting to look at is, so if you look at the Main Street district, so if we look online, it almost makes you think that you could put 24 units,
What's the height limit?
24 units on an acre.
What's the height limit as far as how high they can build those condos? You have to have a height limit somewhere.
There's not a height.
I don't know that there is a.
So in other words, they could build
Set height
them, they
limit.
could build them 5 stories high.
Story-wise.
We should have a height limit on anything.
I
Especially,
think that more falls under a building code.
Yeah, it's not
but
listed.
still it'd have to be allowed under our zoning as to how high, it should be an ordinance telling you how high the condo should be or how many stories. And you gotta take care of your parking, the whole infrastructure. I don't know, it's pretty fast to have to come in and change something, but
Well, we're not
y'all ready to
changing,
do it. Go
we're
ahead.
not changing anything tonight, it's just a public
I
hearing.
Yeah,
understand,
just that-
but what you're recommending for the public hearing is what you're gonna be talking about at the
Right,
public hearing.
I mean,
So whatever your requirements will be, that's what the folks will be coming up talking about, the lot sizes. And you also would need to include how high can you build condos or apartments? We have no
I don't know
ordinance
if that
governing
needs to be included in with what we're doing next. Maybe it needs to be looked at, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, maybe it is in there, I don't know. I wasn't looking specifically.
well, I mean,
at that.
my thing is, Shane, you're talking about this and you're saying you'd like to see bigger on the minimum lot size, you wanna see it bigger, so, right? The way
Yeah,
I'm
so-
understanding you're talking, so I mean,
For
why
like
would we?
SFR4, I mean, for me, I would almost say, you make that 10,890 square feet. That gives you a true SFR4,
You said 10,000 what?
890.
So,
That
it sounds
would
like, I
give
mean,
you
if
a
we,
true quarter acre lot.
like what Mayor just said, I mean, we're coming back and we're talking about changing it to 8725. Why don't we send it back to the planning board and tell them to make it, or to investigate into 10890? That way,
I guess my question, Tyler, is if we set the public hearing and we, after that public hearing, the council says, hey, we don't, 8725 is too small. We want to make that 10.9.
Right.
or 10-890. What, I mean, I don't know that that would necessarily have to go back to the zoning board after we've had a public hearing.
Depends on what you're advertising public hearing for.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
advertising
if
for
you're
8725,
advertising
but
for
if you're
that.
wanting to change it to 10890, then
Right.
it sounds like it needs to be set for 10890
All I'm
tonight
saying
if
is
we're
if
gonna
we
have
get
it.
direction tonight to say, hey, you know,
Revise this.
the zoning board recommended this, but we're looking at, you know, could potentially be
Leave, or change it to
10-890.
10890.
Yeah,
So I see what you're saying, set a public hearing, it could be 8725, or it could possibly move up to
10-890. You'd have
10890.
to specify, yeah.
It
Right.
makes sense to make the lots bigger, and because that way they're not on top of each other. And that's what we want to stay away from.
I would think that if you are setting the public hearing, you're setting it to address the topics that are listed. And so you've got recommendations from the planning board, those are not.
Doesn't necessarily mean we have
So
to
that
stick
you-
to those.
Right, but you probably couldn't then go beyond the topics that are highlighted there and start redoing.
As long as we stick to the SFR4, which we've set it for,
I
not
would-
necessarily go into
yeah,
others.
I would like to double check that and let Tyler know, and I'll respond, but my thought, my instinct is, what you've been asked to is to consider minimum lot size in the Main Street residential transition district, and
Yeah.
also minimum front setback.
And
So
the
you've got some,
SFR4
right,
district.
you've got some recommendations from the planning board, but those are just recommendations on this board.
Council has the final say on anything.
That's right,
That's right.
that's right. However, procedurally, the topic has to go through your planning board and they have to make a
Oh, yeah, that's-
recommendation.
yeah,
So,
I understand.
so if you, as long as you're sticking to the topics that the planning board, then you can vary from that, that would be my expectation as to what's allowed. I'd like to review that and just kind of confirm that with Tyler, but that
Right.
would be sort of where my head is.
This meeting would have been set for October, what, 18th, what did you say that date was? 14th. That's not a bad idea to go ahead and set the public hearing and go, you know, with their guidance, but it's up to the council to have the final say so on what lot sizes will be.
Right.
I wouldn't change the date of the public hearing because you're already in September.
No, I mean, I would prefer to set the public hearing tonight
Yeah, for October.
by way of motion and include whether it be 8-725 or the potential to go up to 10-890, specifically for the SFR4 right now and the RMST.
That way the citizens have something to look at, and also potential contractors, whatever, it'd all be updated as to what might take place. And
But
they
then I
can-
would also like to give the city manager direction to, let's start looking at possibly some of the SFR2, SFR3s, and that Main Street district, which is a potential concern, as well as, you know, and maybe we can change this 1600, that's not part of this, but it is
Right.
part
Okay.
of what we're looking at.
So you give a direction on that, or you're wanting to set a public hearing?
As far as
For
that.
both those
if
two
the-
square
If
footages.
the majority of the board agrees with, hey, that's the direction, I think we need to move to start limiting some of
Well,
The
they-
overcrowding, the
Yes.
overcrowding is possibility of overcrowding and
the. So
houses
the
on top
direction
of
would
each
be to
other.
look at the SFR2. Ultimately, I think we need to look at the multi-use as well, because if you look at, you know, there's several lots right now that, you know, we have an MU, I believe it's MU2, that are empty that could potentially, you know, a substantial amount of townhomes could go on, if that's what they chose to do, it's
Right.
multi-use, or even homes, I mean, there's no stick to that.
Mr. Attorney, are you familiar with the heights of like apartments or condos? Do we have an ordinance that you know of?
I don't know off the top
They
of
can
my
go to,
head.
they can go up 5 stories high, I
Whether our
guess, or
zoning
whatever.
ordinance addresses that.
What's the limit? You know, Tom? We don't have a limit?
Not to my knowledge.
That's
mean, if you
something
look-
that needs to be looked into.
If you look, it doesn't, you know, it shows
Yeah, it
the
doesn't.
principal setbacks, so we've
Right.
got minimum lot size, we've got,
Rear
street
side.
setbacks right away, yeah, rear setbacks, there's no,
We have number of parking spaces on like condos,
Yeah.
apartments, whatever.
For
But that would
any
slow- that would slow a lot of it
Yeah,
down.
and accessories, I mean, it's got a lot of that listed. And it may list it in there somewhere, I don't know, I did not look for that.
If you want to, go ahead and set it.
Most zoning ordinances would certainly have height as one of the criteria
Restrictions.
that's regulated,
Right.
so, but I don't
We
recall.
don't have anything in Arizona. See, a lot of this stuff, they just slipped in. They went wild, like putting
And
4
that may
houses
be
on this MS.
some of the direction that we give him for some of the others, that we look at SFR2, SFR3.
Yeah, all of it, Main Street especially, because you could build 5-story apartments, but you gotta still have to meet the criteria, how many.
Well,
parking
height, I'm just
spaces.
talking about height-wise.
Yeah.
even. Yep.
All of it, you got a big challenge ahead of you. And it's high time that we take action on this, because no one's happy about Grove Street, as I know of. I've not heard no one say they're happy about 4 houses on one lot. Dangerous. And this house out here on Phillips Street, where you can back out in Phillips Street, just roll out the road, it's crazy. But maybe, yeah, this would be a step in the right direction, Shane. I think it'd be appropriate to go ahead and set the public hearing for that part, if that's your motion to do so, or your, any.
So, just to be clear, are we setting the public hearing for the proposed sizes? Are we setting the public hearing
I'm
for the
gonna-
10,890?
I'm gonna make a motion that it could range from 8,725 to
Okay.
10,890.
10,890. It may be that the majority of the board says 875 is it.
Okay.
It may be that, you know, they say, hey, 10,890, which would be the true SFR 4,
Okay.
which is 4 acres, 4 houses per acre.
Okay.
Do you
But
need-
it will strictly be, the motion will strictly be for the SFR 4 details that we're looking at, and the RMST.
I think you've got the numbers, but really the motion is to consider changes to the minimum lot size and the front setback in those 2 zoning districts, pursuant to the recommendations from the planning board. And up to the numbers
And
discussed.
could, yeah,
Yeah, but really what's going to be before the council is reviewing the standards in the current zoning ordinance on minimum lot size and front setback.
Can you, I can't hear you guys.
Sorry.
sorry.
It's been taped, isn't it?
It is, but I have a hard time hearing you when it's taped.
I thought maybe you'd look at it after.
I do, I just can't hear you when I listen to it.
It's gonna be hard to go back and restate what this.
What was
Say my-
the date?
It's October 14th. I just want to make sure that's.
I think it's a great suggestion, man. We need to hear what you're speaking about and make this town like it used to be. We used to have great big lots and beautiful houses, but I know growth and things like that, we don't need to be a part of making people money. We want to be a part of how wonderful it is to live here.
And I think we need to revisit this
Yeah.
just for another reason, our infrastructure. We don't want to outgrow it.
Right. You're
Our-
smart.
our
That's
similar
the
stuff.
smartest thing I've heard in a while. That's good, infrastructure.
With that, I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for Article 8 text amendment pertaining to SFR 4 minimum lot size, currently at 7,800, recommended by the zoning board at 8,725, and that may increase possibly up to 10,890, as well as the minimum rear yard setbacks.
What's the minimum right now on the setback on the back?
Let me finish
I'm
this
sorry.
motion. As well as the standards for RMST zoning district for the minimum lot size and minimum setbacks.
So that's your motion.
That's my motion.
Okay, we have a second.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Robinson, second by Mr. Bates. Now we're having discussion. What's the minimum setbacks on the back?
Right now, it's 5 feet.
What's it going to if it passes on the?
Well, this is recommended at 4 feet, but as far as that change, but
All right. So that's good. At least we can bring it to the table and have a public hearing, let folks
Yeah.
understand what we're talking
now,
about.
yeah, and that's for the SFR 4. The RMST minimum right now is 12, proposed is 20.
Is that the rear or the front?
That's from the street.
That's the
I'm
front.
sorry, from the street.
Front's 12, right?
Yeah, that's from the
They're
street.
wanting, we're
But Okay, 20. that's-
20, set about
that's-
20 from the street.
That's still pretty close, but anyway, at least we're moving in the right direction. That's a motion, a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Thank you. That's a good motion. All right. So we're working hard. Let's see, the next thing is the consideration of budget amendment number 4. Do you have that, Tyler?
I do, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Consideration of budget member number 4. This budget amendment number 4 is to move funds from the POW bill fund balance to pay for repairs and paving to city streets. We did have to hire a surveyor to research B Street, which is off Highway 7. It was discovered that B Street was never deeded to the city, so paving of B Street was removed from the project list. And during that time, we added River Garden, Meadow Woods to the paving projects of the city streets.
So once you get the survey and then you can go back and revisit Play Street, or B Street, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of my questions, was that according to the most recent POW bill map, I guess we've been getting POW bill money for B Street, but you're saying it was never deeded to the,
Yeah, upon research, it was discovered that B Street was never deeded over to the city.
but we are looking at getting that deeded to the city or no?
That's why he's hiring a surveyor, right?
Yeah, well, we've got the survey, we've hired the surveyor to have this property surveyed. I have not received a copy of the survey yet for this street, so therefore we took it off and added 2 additional streets.
Yeah, for
to the-
now.
Yeah, for now, correct.
So once you get the survey in, once they get the survey in, you'll be able to create a street, correct? If it meets all the boundaries and stuff.
Possibly, yes.
Those two, my question is, those 2 streets, River Garden and Meadow Woods, is that, tell me exactly where those are at. What neighborhood?
River Falls.
And how old is River Falls? What I'm saying is
Actually, Meadowwoods is newer than River Falls Drive. Meadowwoods has
I
come
think-
in.
what I'm getting at is, them 2 streets are not that old. Why hadn't we looked at other side streets?
I think they, from my understanding, they rode the city and determined and graded them,
Who's they?
the Public Works. They determined which streets were needed to be paved, and I guess upon their determination, River Garden and Meadow Woods was scored low enough on the scale to be paved. But I can follow up and get the information as
I would
to,
rather follow up,
as to why they
because
got
those are
that.
newer streets than what some of these older streets around here that I've seen look pretty bad.
Right.
I always
I
thought,
haven't seen a list. Do you have a list? I mean, I have seen a list.
I already voted
There
on it.
was one at one
But
time.
only the list of the ones that we voted
correct.
to at the last meeting to do the funds. Do we
Yeah,
have
I
a
can get
complete list?
$170,000.
Yeah.
Can you send that to the board?
Yeah, I think it was sent out originally, but I'll follow back
Yeah,
up with it.
if-
But I agree with Mr. Chilwood. I think that before when you have a group of streets allocated to pave, if you make changes, the council should be informed as to what you're doing.
Well, I mean, he is telling me that he's wanting to go with River Garden and Meadow Woods, but I don't agree with those streets.
I understand.
As being as newer development than what,
I don't know how you can
you know,
drive.
Bridge Street, Oak Street, all down through that way, all up that way, the other side of number 7.
I think we allocated $170,000, but once you change streets like that, I'm sure the numbers change. You need to have at least 2 bids for everything that we do. That way it's fair and above board.
Are you saying table this?
I would say table it before, I mean, is this funds that has to be paid to them immediately, or because of,
I think, just my opinion would be that we would remove B Street but not add any other streets.
Okay.
And that would
But
raise-
in order to do that, I think she would probably have to have a new budget amendment. She'd
How
have to
much you're
bring
really
that
spending
forward.
yet.
Well,
And I can get all the information as far as,
You can have that ready for next meeting, right?
yeah.
So I'll just.
I can get, yeah, and I can get it to you
table if you want
beforehand.
I say table it until the next meeting, but I agree with Shane, since it's not, B Street can't be done, then let's check on, I don't have a problem doing other streets, but let's check on some of the older streets in the city versus some of these newer developments.
Okay.
And is there a possibility that B Street will be deeded in the future?
That I don't know.
Well, why are we spending money to survey if we're not trying to?
Because we were
acquire
gonna
this?
pay, because we were gonna pay B Street, and we were trying to find the boundaries and the points to where we were going to.
It's a good idea to go ahead and survey it and see if we can get the criteria to meet what the
And
street
we
would
have,
be.
we have surveyed it.
Okay, well, do you have a copy of it for us?
That's what I'm saying, I haven't received a copy of the survey yet. We have.
You've not paid them, right? We need a copy of it as soon as we can get it, and I appreciate it. All right, let's see. So we're tabling that, that's good. All right, next thing will be the city manager report.
Yeah, so, they did start on the roofing project at the rec center today. I think it should last, roughly 2 weeks in order to get that completed. I did have a meeting today with the firm to look at the public works site to go over, the specs that we currently had from previous, planning. We tweaked it a little bit. They're gonna go back and update the plans that they have and submit those back. I'm gonna have another follow-up meeting with the updated plans at the end of the month. Then I will be presenting that information to you. And lastly, the clock parts have arrived at City Hall. I'm just waiting for the installation, for when they're gonna come out and install it.
That's good.
Yeah, schedule, that's right.
It's gonna be about 2 weeks, right?
Yeah,
Good.
that's all I've got.
All right. Mr. Attorney, you have anything?
I do not.
Mr. Robinson?
The only thing is, do we need a motion to table that, or as far as the budget amendment? No. Okay. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Mr. Bates?
No, sir.
Mr. Chilwood? I've got a couple of things. I told the meeting's gonna last less than 23 minutes, so I hope so. I want to know what the status is on the ballpark, Tyler, as far as what are we doing, how much money have we spent for admin fees, and where are we, how much money is left to be spent at the ballpark?
I don't have the admin fees off the top of my head, but I can get that information.
What do we got scheduled to start as far as doing some, making some improvements out there?
Yeah, and those are all improvements to Harold Rankin that we're gonna make, adding a splash pad, adding a pickleball court, resurfacing the existing basketball court and keeping it as a full court.
And that's good.
Yeah, repurposing one of the fields out there.
Well, it's been we've been on this board almost 2 years, and we met, I think, the first meeting after we got sworn in, to talk with those people out there, and we've done nothing about it. Another thing I want to talk about is Powell bill money. If we wanted to name that ballpark, we should make it a street, where the parking area, still, we could have a street through it and still have access, parking on each side. And then we could take money out of Powell bill and pave that, where the street's never been, where the parking lot's never been paved. But we could make a street out of the ballpark property, name it whatever you want to call it, Ballpark Boulevard, I don't care. But that way you can access parking spaces on each side. And the city would be within its limits to use Powell bill money and not have to use taxpayers' money. I'm talking about in-house city taxpayers' money to pave that street. And it's long overdue that be paved out there, especially with the improvements in the pickleball courts, in the gym we've acquired. It makes sense to have parking because at the Old Boys and Girls Club, you virtually have no parking. But we got to come, to our senses and get some of these things done. I'm not fussing over it. I'm just saying that's something we can do, and it's legal to do that. If we have a street out there, we can name any street that we wanted to. Correct, Mr. Attorney? We have enough property. And like you could drive through off of, what's it called, the little circle? Park Circle, and turn on to Ballpark Boulevard, and go down the road on each side, have two lanes, and exit out there beside the Boys and Girls Club. But and beside of that, you'd have ample parking on each side. And that would free up some money without having to raise money from the general fund to do what should have been done ever since we had the ballpark. That's just a suggestion, but that's something you can bring up for us and maybe get some prices, Tyler, as far as how much it would cost out of Powell bill money to do that. And I have another thing to bring up. As far as what Mr. Cato's over, where we're trying to do the military thing for our military, we can have a club where we can have meetings for our veterans, and we've done nothing about it. But it shouldn't. We should have Tyler. Maybe I think Tyler has. Mr. Cato has a couple of people that he's got on that he's working with, And maybe we can let Tyler, or vote for Tyler to sit down and meet with them and see what it would cost to have this, because it's long overdue. We have nothing for our veterans, and that's male and female, doesn't matter, but our veterans to have a place to meet. And I think that, I don't know what the motion should be. How would you, to make, to where we can get something started? Just make a motion to meet with Mr. Cato and his staff or his committee to come up with something to do this. We got the community center, they have ample places to meet, and it shouldn't cost that much money. But I understand they want to do a military wall in the future out here with all of our veterans, not just the Vietnam vets, but every veteran we've ever had in Louisville. And that way we can honor all of our vets. And I think that's long overdue. But it's up to the council to approve it. But is that something you just want to think about? Or would y'all be willing to vote on it tonight to do that?
I would not until I heard all aspects of it.
We talk about them wanting to do a military wall out here.
Yeah, wherever they, Mr. Cato and his staff are wanting to come up with some kind of idea to honor all of our military vets.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to put it out here, and then we end up 6 to 18 years building a new city hall, what's gonna happen to the wall?
And if we don't, but I'm not gonna argue with you about it. I'm just saying we need to.
I'm not arguing, I'm just
Arguing,
asking
he's making a
questions.
comment.
I'm just saying, I just wanna get
His
something
opinion.
started. We've been here almost 2 years. And, and Mr. Cato, the highest decorated Vietnam soldier in the state, second highest one in the state of North Carolina, he's willing to take this undertaking on. So we need to support him, all of us, and come up with something. I'm not saying build it here, wherever you build it, but at least bring him in, let Tyler and him get some dialogue started as to what we're going to do. Because if we don't do anything, it's like there's nothing been done so far. There's no reason for it not to change.
Yeah, I mean, this first I've heard about it, and I would say, Mr. Cato, come talk with Tyler.
That'd be good.
I mean,
How
you know,
much
they
it-
could sit down and then
that's-
Tyler could present something
Right,
to us
well,
if
the
they come
council
up with
approves
something.
that, then he can take it on his own to bring Mr. Cato in and have a meeting with them. They can come back with the board with some ideas and we can all look at it, vote
Yeah, but
on
I don't think we have to vote for him to meet with Cato. Cato can come meet with him, and if they come up with something, then he could bring it before the board.
it. Right.
There's not a vote for us for Cato to meet with him.
Okay, so you're giving him the authority to go out and meet with Mr. Cato, correct?
No,
He don't
I'm
have to
giving
have,
Mr.
he doesn't have to
Cato-
have our authority.
Mr. Cato needs to come sit down and talk with Tyler. I'm not saying send Tyler out to Mr. Cato. If this is something Mr. Cato is interested in,
This is,
then he needs to bring it to the city manager and approach him with it.
right. All of the municipalities around us, I don't know about McCampbell, but Cramerton, Belmont, they have like, a club they meet at but someone
Talking
has
about
to
like a
start.
VFW?
Yeah, VFW, something like that.
That's something that'd be up to VFW to do, wouldn't it? Not the,
It'd be nice to have it for
Most of
Lowell.
these clubs are not tied to.
yeah, they're not tied to the city.
I'm talking about their cities, they have.
But
they
now, if
have
you're
a-
talking about creating a committee to build a wall or something like that. it'd
And
be
to
kinda
also
different.
encompass to where Mr. Cato can get all the military people in town. We have a lot of vets that are still living. But we don't ever have anything, nowhere to meet with them. That's Cato's idea was to, start this thing. And I thought, we're in agreement as to have something like that. I wouldn't see no reason why we shouldn't. We don't want a VFW, we know we're not big enough for that, but we have a community center where they can meet once a month or once a quarter or whatever and talk about what they need to talk about and keep us informed as to what's going on in our town with our military. I don't see anything wrong with that, but you gotta start somewhere.
Well, and like Mr. Bates just said, have Cato to come meet with Tyler, and we'll get the ball rolling from there.
That's good. I'll let Mr. Cato know to come up and meet with Tyler. That's good.
Tell them to give him a call and set a date, and they'll go meet, and they'll go from there, we'll go from there.
And another thing that I'm gonna bring up, I just want the town to understand this. I'm not running for city council. I'm on the ballot. I can't take my name off the ballot. But I don't wanna be a part of this. I'm not putting out any political signs or anything like that. I'm not gonna be seeking city council seat. I'm gonna stay on as the mayor and try to get things done the best we can. But I don't wanna interfere in the council race to where it has an effect on our city, because I think we got good people running. I know I got some good people that I want to support and I will support. And that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, we have our council member here tonight, and also Ms. Weaver, and people like that need an opportunity, and all the candidates, Mr. Ryan, all of them, Tommy, all the people that's running. But what we want to do is have a good, fair, open election to where people can vote, and I don't want to be a hindrance to it, and I don't want to be involved in causing someone's election, because God knows I love Shane Robinson like my own child, and I want to see him stay forever. But anything I can do to help our town in any way, that's what I want to do. But I will not be seeking the council seat, and I'm sorry that I'm on the ballot. I wish I'd never done it. But anything, and that's all I have, and so I guess we just need to have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. And thanks to all of you for coming out. Thank you. Do we get out for, do we make it, do we get out for 23 minutes? On the hay tournament here. Thank y'all.
Tell me what you're thinking about our